This one we didn't get to in class. It's a quick hitter, but it's a real important concept to learn. The tax on potatoes we saw caused deadweight loss. And the question asks you, your team, we didn't get to the team phase here, but asks you to answer this following question. Should we conclude that the tax on potatoes should be removed? Let's think about our options. Yes, the tax squanders economic well-being and should be eliminated. Okay, let's think. B, no, the tax is necessary to fund government operations. Okay, we got these two absolute statements. One is, oh no, taxes, they cause inefficiency, they should be eliminated. Actually, some taxes don't, but this one does. But that's a pretty absolute statement. B, no, we shouldn't eliminate the tax. We need government, therefore we should keep the tax. These are, when you think of the political debates, these are opposite sides that are often argued, but neither one really makes any economic sense. It's really the economic analysis of a tax leads us to the conclusion that it depends, right? If we apply the cost-benefit principle and also evaluate other alternatives, we come up with it depends. And what does it depend on? Let's think. It depends if the surplus created by the government operations funded by the tax is greater than the deadweight loss, then the tax should remain in place. That's sounding pretty good. That is a pretty good rule of logic. So right away, C is a pretty credible answer. What about D? It depends. If a different tax is possible and would cause less deadweight loss or even increase economic well-being for the same amount of revenue, then the tax should be shifted away. That seems a pretty good thing, and we will see later in the semester together that there are actually some taxes, particularly taxes on pollution, that are welfare enhancing. And so it turns out that both C and D are very defensible actions. In fact, that's exactly how we should be thinking about taxes. What are the benefits of a tax? What are the costs? And if the benefits are greater than the costs, well, that's where society is better off for doing that. And otherwise, no, they're not. So taxes that create less total surplus than the loss in that's caused by collecting them, well, unless there's a real important fairness argument in play, and sometimes there can be, otherwise, forget that tax should be eliminated and the government spending eliminated as well. On the other hand, if a tax is creating a huge public benefit, far outweighing the deadweight loss of collecting it, and there's no other tax that could be imposed, whether due to political constraints or just the possible set of revenue generating activities, well then that kind of tax should stay in place. That's the argument. What are you doing with the money? Are you spending it to the greater good, or are you wasting it? Well, the answer is the latter. Well, then let's get rid of that tax. How are you taxing? Is there a efficiency enhancing or at least a less inefficient way to collect the same amount of revenue? Well, then we should change the tax policy. That's the argument we should be having.